Hello, my friends. My name is Ryan Freeman. Welcome to my life. Welcome to Leg Lake in Southern California. I have a poem entitled An Argument. It's by an Irish author named Thomas Moore. He lived at the end of the 18th century and towards the middle of the 19th century. So, Thomas Moore, Irish poet, and the poem An Argument. 2 stanzas long. I'm going to read both stanzas, and then I will explain to you what I think and what feelings it gives me. And I hope that you like it. I hope that you comment. I hope that you share this video. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and start. So, starting with the first stanza. I've oft been told by learned friars that wishing and the crime are one, and heaven punishes desires as much as if the deed were done. If wishing damns us, you and I are damned to all our heart's content. Come then, at least we may enjoy some pleasure for our punishment. All right, that's it. Very short. So an argument is obviously something you are trying to convey to another person. You're trying to persuade them. You're trying to shift their perspective. So let's look. I've oft been told by learned friars, educated holy men, who have often told him this. What have they told him? That wishing and the crime are one. I don't know if you've ever read the New Testament of the Bible, but there is some part where Jesus says that even looking with lust upon another woman is the same as adultery. So that's probably where this comes from. So it's the idea that a sin is not just an act. A sin is also an inner state, a feeling. Because a wish is what? A wish is a desire for something that you don't have, something that is yearning. A wish is a yearning from inside. A crime is an actual act, something that actually occurs outside of you, inside the world. So that a sin and a desire, or a wish and a crime, are the same thing. That's what the friars say, the learned friars, these educated holy men. And heaven punishes desires as much as if the deed were done. So the message that he has received from church, from his holy leaders, is that sin doesn't necessarily mean action. Sin can merely be the desire within you, the wishes within you. And you will be punished. Maybe not by the government, maybe not by your parents or your boss, but you will be punished by heaven. And you know, if you read the Bible, heaven's punishments are pretty severe, pretty long-lasting as well. So heaven punishes desires as much as if the deed were done. So even just having that wish and that desire, you will be punished, even if you don't even do the deed. So that's the first stanza. Second stanza. If wishing damns us, you and I are damned to all our heart's content. So if that's true, so okay, that's what they say. I've been told this often. If what that is true, and wishing really does damn us, and just wanting to do something naughty is a sin, like wanting to smoke a cigarette is just as bad as smoking a cigarette. Wanting to have sex with that beautiful woman, even though I'm married, is the same as actually doing that and having an affair. Wanting to dance naked in the streets is really as bad as dancing naked in the streets. If that really is true, then you and I, meaning all of us, are damned to all our heart's content. So that means that we are damned. Damned means that we are going to be punished to all our heart's content, because our heart desires, right? That's what our heart does. Our heart wants. Our heart wants to scream, even when we're in a church. Our heart wants to laugh, even when we're in a funeral. Our heart wants to kiss, even if we don't know the person. Our heart has all of these crazy desires, right? And we're constantly tempering them. And oftentimes, religion acts as sort of a tempering institution to stop you from acting on your desires. And then what Thomas Moore is communicating, even trying to stop you from even having those desires, even trying to get to the very root of your very feelings and wishes. But if it's true that even wishing and the crime are one, that desiring is going to damn me, then we're all damned to our heart's content. Because we can't get away from our heart. Ultimately, we can hide from it. We can pretend we don't have those naughty thoughts. We can pretend we don't really want to eat all the ice cream. We can pretend that we don't want to creep down the stairs and dive into a bag of cookies at midnight. But we do. Right? We all have desires. None of us is perfect. We're human, right? That's why he says, you and I. Not just him. Not just you. All of us. So, come then, at least we may enjoy some pleasure for our punishment. So if it's true that I'm going to be punished from heaven, which, if we're going from the God of the Bible, or at least what we've been instructed from these learned friars is, when God's wrathful, he's really wrathful. He'll send you to a lake of fire for eternity. So if it's true that we are all going to be punished for even having our desires and wishes that may not be kosher with whatever the rules are, well, we might as well fucking do it, okay? Rather than wanting to smoke a cigarette, but not smoking a cigarette, if I'm going to be punished and I'm damned just for wanting to it, well, fuck it. I'm going to go smoke that cigarette. Now, I don't necessarily think that... I think this is more sort of a sarcastic argument back to these learned friars, this ridiculous notion that desiring and wishing are equal to the crime or the sin. I think that's what this poem is really doing. I think it's being hyperbolic. I don't actually think Thomas More is encouraging us to go act out all of our desires, all of our dark wants and wishes. I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying that, but he's doing it hyperbolically to just show how ridiculous it would be if we all did that. So if it's true what you guys say in your theology, that even having a desire to cheat on my wife, or even having a desire to run stark naked in the streets, or sing at the top of my lungs when it's inappropriate, for even having that urge spring up within me, within my heart, is the same as actually doing it, well then let's do it. Now, he doesn't want us to really do that, right? He's not calling for that, for a complete lack of decorum and anarchy and all of that. No, he's not asking for that. I think he's just showing how ridiculous that teaching of the church is. Ireland is a pretty religious country, and I believe, probably especially when Thomas More was alive in the late 18th and early 19th century. So, sometimes we get really bad teachings from religions that were founded on genuine good experiences, right? I don't want to get into, the history of religion and how it's evolved, or even into the idiosyncratic theologies and all of that. But sometimes, religions are founded on actually good ideas or good people. But as the doctrines sometimes get twisted throughout the centuries, or misinterpreted, or just abused, people will suffer the consequences. And so the whole idea that, and I actually can't quote the exact scripture in the New Testament where Jesus says that, but and I don't know if there's another meaning to it. My favorite philosopher, Alan Watts, actually talked about it once. He said it was a koan. Koan is like a Buddhist challenge, and so the Buddhists do something very similar. At least they used to do it, where it's like the monk comes to the master and asks, "How can I be enlightened?" And the master says, "Stop desiring." And so the monk tries to stop desiring, and the monk finally realizes that he can't stop desiring, because even in trying to desire not to desire, he's desiring not to desire. And so it's only when the fool through his folly shall become wise, William Blake, that you finally try to stop desiring, that you realize you can't stop desiring. It's just by even trying to desire not to desire, you're desiring. By trying to stop your desires and your wishes to be a holy person, that in itself is a wish as well, and even a worse wish, because you're deceiving yourself and you're trying to attempt to attain to some sort of spiritual height, like, and which is spiritual pride, which to me is the grossest of all sins. So I think Thomas More is just kind of poking back at these idiotic theologians who perhaps didn't understand that Christ's words was a koan. Whether it was or it wasn't, I don't know. Or just the ridiculous teaching to try to ask people to not have sinful desires. I'm sorry, we're human. Humans sin. Humans have ideas that maybe they shouldn't act on, right? Sometimes I really do want to just be naked, but I live in civilization. Do I think being naked is wrong, evil, in nature? No. This is the clothes that God gave me, naked. Not these clothes, but underneath. But I live amongst people. I don't want to intrude on people, so I wear clothes. Mostly. I let the clothes open a little bit. So I don't think Thomas More is asking us to actually act upon all of our heart's content, but I think he is hyperbolically revealing how ridiculous that idea is, that you need to extirpate even the desire within you. And I guess also you could take it as, well, fuck it, if I'm going to go to hell, might as well have some fun. I don't know. Let me know what you think, and that will be all. My name's Ryan Freeman. Bye.